What have we seen in terms of alternative financing of captive insurance companies? The most obvious one to think about, of course, is Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. But we've also become aware of captives that are interested with being funded by things like sort of carbon credits and so on, carbon capture credits. What's the attitude of CIMA to that sort of alternative financing at the moment?
Sure. And as you said, you're starting to see some of that alternative financing in the market, people interested in capitalizing their captives with, something other than just cash. CIMA's taking a fairly conservative approach on this so far. They don't like the inherent volatility in a Bitcoin or things like that, where, one day it might be 60,000, the next day it might be 20. And, just that fluctuation in value. So they're a little bit more conservative about that, both in terms of capitalization and as an investment piece of your portfolio. There are other jurisdictions who are taking a slightly more favorable view, but CIMA's just being cautious with it and sort of seeing how these things play out before they, I would say, jump into that pool and let people capitalize with some of these more alternative styles of capitalization and financing.
Well, I think, regulators and indeed the industry, but regulators in particular, they do have a serious responsibility for ensuring that the captives in the jurisdiction are stable and that the jurisdiction itself is stable and maintains its reputation, quite honestly. And I'm quite sure that some of these things will be allowed in the future, but we'll have to wait and see on what terms and how quickly. But I actually quite like the softly, let's not rush into this approach, because at the end of the day, you could have 2 or 3 captives that go wrong, and that really doesn't help the other 700 that have been formed in a more conventional way. Although conventional isn't necessarily what it's about, because as I've said, with all that concentration of captive expertise, there's also a great deal of creativity down there in the Cayman Islands amongst the captive professionals. And therefore, we do see some really quite interesting new structures, both corporate structures and program structures. So plenty of good things going on.